To our continuing focus on the flood situation in Jammu and Kashmir, more than 1 lakh people have been evacuated so far from the valley, and authorities have now shifted their focus to providing relief to those who have been rendered homeless. The administration is also gearing up to fight waterborne diseases as flood waters start receding. Meanwhile, rescue operations launched by defence personnel, Mission Sahayata in Kashmir and Mission Rahat in Jammu region entered the 11th day as 84 transport aircraft and helicopters of the Air Force and the Army's Aviation Corps along with 35,000 troops were pressed into service. All right, in more news now, could the administration have contained the impact of the Himalayan calamity had it not ignored warnings? Studies now show that the state government and the centre had turned a blind eye to environment reports that were being prepared by experts in Srinagar. Headlines today's Maharukh Inayat with more details.
What is the real killer? The epic floods or the virtually non-existent drains in the faulty urban planning, or perhaps all of these in equal measure?
This would hardly seem like the scene that you would imagine in the flood-ravaged Srinagar city. But the fact is, there are homes in Srinagar city that have been saved from the fury of the Jhelum and its flood-ravaged waters. This is in the area of Baghat Barzila, where there are some homes and some localities that have actually been able to survive the flood waters, with the Jhelum waters not really creeping in. But less than 2 kilometers away, and we're going to travel to that area, it is the picture of a different Kashmir that meets your eyes. As you go out, it is clear that it was not just the rain that was responsible for this disaster. It was clearly a man-made disaster that was waiting to happen. As we travel just a kilometer or less than a kilometer away from our last spot, the situation begins to start changing. To my right is the Bone and Joint Hospital in the distance that has now been shut down. Right next to it is the mine department, where we did an earlier report which has also been shut down. This entire area was completely submerged in the waters of the Jhelum, close to about 8 to 10 feet of water less than 48 hours ago. That water has now completely receded, and what it has left in its wake is sedimentation, mud on the streets. But thankfully, as the sun has come out, you've begun to see that there is a huge amount of dust on the road and a lot of dirt, but the water clearly receding.
In another part of town where the Chief Minister lives, the situation is better. The area is at a height and the waters didn't really cause too much havoc at either his house or at our tribal Mehbooba Mufti's residence. But it will be some time before residents of the low-lying area see dry land, as floodwaters refuse to recede with speed, as no sophisticated drainage system exists here.
The stories of two Kashmirs, one that is dry and the other that has been badly affected by the floods. This is not a disaster that was caused by natural calamity alone. There are man-made factors that have been responsible, because had that not been the case, it would have clearly not been the fact that one part of the city would remain completely unaffected and the other totally submerged. With camera person Prashant at the Rambagh Bridge, this is Maharukh Inayat for Headlines.
Let's get an word from our correspondent Mosmi Singh, who's joining us live from Srinagar this morning. Mosmi, it seems that providing relief now is the biggest challenge for security personnel as they continue to work around the clock.
That's true, Simi. See, there has been a restoration of communication lines yesterday, and the Home Secretary is also camping here in Srinagar. He is right near the airport base where we are standing right now, and he has been taking a series of meetings because there are a number, half a dozen of nodal agencies that have been pressed into operation. And in the initial days, we saw there were a lot of hiccups. There was a communication breakdown, so there was a lot of miscoordination. In fact, there was no coordination coordination because you had the Jammu and Kashmir Police, you had the BSF, you had the NDRF, you had the CRPF, the Air Force, the Army. So there were various agencies who were working in their own domain. And now the Home Secretary, we do believe, pushed by the Prime Minister, is going to camp here till the rescue and relief operations are a big chunk is over. But the major hurdle now would be, Simi, if you look behind me at the skies. The skies are cloudy today after 3 days of clear skies. Even as you see a chopper flying across, that means the rescue and relief operations are still on. But if it gets a little heavily crowded, then there is a problem because as you know, past 4-5 days we've seen good weather, but in the morning today there was slight drizzle and the clouds have been collecting here right over the top of Srinagar. When we had landed 5 days back, Sydney, there was a cloud cover, thick cloud cover, but it cleared on later. But now as you see, it's got cloudy again, and this is a cause of concern for the security agencies, the rescue agencies, as well as the stranded people.
Absolutely, fresh rainfall could make matters worse in the valley. Mosmi, thanks so much for that update. We're going to keep coming back to you for more.